Welcome to this edition of Focus. I'm Jordan Olivo. I'm joined by a special guest, longtime Corpus Christi Caller Times outdoors writer David Sikes. Thanks for coming in today.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
How did you get your start in journalism?
Well, actually, my great-grandfather founded a newspaper in Louisiana, so I have it in my blood. And I got a journalism degree from the University of Houston, and started with small papers and came to the Caller Times back in 96, 97, and was just a kind of a general assignment reporter and working the coastal cities. So I was doing everything from murder trials to oil spills at the time.
So you didn't initially start in the outdoors segment?
Hardly anyone does, because there are so few positions that if you aspire to that, you're setting yourself up for a lot of disappointment. I happened to be there at the right time. My predecessor, Buddy Goff, decided to retire. He kind of let me know, and I campaigned vigorously for the job. And the publisher at the time, Larry Rose, gave me a shot, and I still thank him every time I see him.
Recently earned a number of awards, so you're an award-winning columnist.
Yes.
I know, don't mean to embarrass you a little bit, but you know it's good to pat yourself on the back.
That's right, and the Texas Outdoor Writers Association and the Outdoor Writers of America guys give awards every year for photography and for writing and for radio and TV even. And you know, those of us who have a full-time job doing this have an upper hand because we have a lot more content to enter than the freelancers, which a lot of the guys in the organization.
So you did win first in the outdoor photography people category.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what that photo was. I don't know.
I have here I guess it was your story, Father's Last Legacy.
Oh yeah, I did 2 stories for Father's Day this year. One ran on the front page, which is fairly rare for an outdoor columnist, and one ran on the sports section in my regular section front. But I picked 2 people who are completely different. One of them was a woman who hunts and fishes and grew up with her father in the San Antonio area, and the other one was my neighbor from across the street, who I've been fishing and hunting with since he was about 10.
Wow.
And I did a story on him and his dad.
Oh, so when you say this job is great, clearly,
it really is.
Clearly you mean it.
Really
you
is.
also picked up honorable mention in the same category for your photo Scattered Doves, or in the story Scattered Doves. So you picked up
well, I mean, I do a dove story every year because South Texas, if you do any kind of hunting at all, you hunt for doves.
Yes.
There's 500,000 people who go out on a September morning and hunt doves in South Texas, and we're lucky to have a really great population of them here. And I've been getting together with my old high school friends for the last 40 years on opening day in the South Zone, and we all come down here and hunt together. So I write about that tradition.
You also won for your story Nosy Neighbors, which chronicled duck hunting affecting residents.
That's where the
of Padre
opinion
Island.
part of my job comes in. You may or may not know that there's duck hunting in the Laguna Madre. Well, I live on the island, and sound travels very far over water, and some of the people who moved there outside of Texas were not aware that there's coyotes and duck hunting on Padre Island.
Oh, wow.
And so when they hear on that Saturday morning the shotgun blast in the not too far distance, it bothers them.
Yeah.
And I always tell them, I said, well, your real estate agent should have told you that there's duck hunting on Saturday mornings in the fall and winter.
They left that out. For sure.
Yeah, I defended my fellow duck hunters, and I also chastised them some because they were a little closer than I would have been.
Rotary Club, they honor heroes of conservation, which you cover. In your opinion, what in terms of conservation do you think we could do more, I guess, in terms of tourists, fishermen, you know, just us living in this area where it's kind of the waters and the beaches, like that's our background.
It is. It's a paradise for outdoor recreation. Some of them are so obvious that I'm embarrassed, and people ask me to write more about them from time to time, but I tell them, how many different ways can you write that littering is bad?
Yes, just picking up after yourself.
I mean, how many ways can you say that? So I try to target it. A lot of fishermen tend to, when they break their line off and they get a backlash on their reel or something like that, they'll cut the line and they'll just leave it wherever they are. And if you've ever seen a strangled bird or a strangled turtle or a bird who's lost its leg because monofilament is wrapped around it and cut off the circulation, you may be cured of that habit. But I can't impress on people more to not leave their fishing line anywhere where wildlife can access it. That means the water or the shore. And it also means the high lines where people are casting. And you look at the high lines on the JFK Causeway, there'll be a web of monofilament hanging from there, which is nothing more than a snare for birds who can't see it, and they fly through it and they get caught of it. It's pathetic to see a pelican hanging from that.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is, it breaks your heart.
Simply put, don't litter. Pick up
Clean up after yourself. Yeah.
And then, would you say our outdoor lifestyle we have here in the Coastal Bend, has it positively impacted the tourism rates?
I don't see how it couldn't. There are people for the past 20-something years that I've been here who have said, I could make a lot higher salary, but I come here because of the access to the fly fishing, to the hunting access. The wilderness areas are so convenient here for us. I mean, I live on the island. I can fish at my house if I wanted to. I don't do it as much anymore, but you know, within a mile of my house, I can paddle out and catch a redfish. Some of these people are high-class doctors who fly fish for redfish. You know, they got a $50,000, $60,000 boat, and they use it all the time when they come here. If you go down the Highway 37 and see all the boats on trailers coming down here, that should convince you that the outdoor lifestyle here is paramount to our tourism.
Right, and it's what keeps you going, right?
Certainly is. It's easy to promote, and I have a lot of people who are like-minded, so I have a built-in audience.
Yes.
You know, which makes it easy.
And for your built-in audience, and then for viewers watching who are just, you know, hey, we have an outdoor columnist in our area. Where could they find?
They should know that, but if they don't know that, the Caller Times.
Where could they find, you know, your work? Of course, online.
That's true. Right. I mean, caller.com is a good source. I've got 2 Facebook pages. You know, one of them is more personal and the other one is professional, but they both pretty much have the same information. I post a lot more stuff of my day-to-day stuff on Facebook. Facebook's a great resource for immediately finding out where I'm fishing or where I should be fishing or where you should be fishing. There's a lot of sources for that. But if you just like good stories that maybe remind you of your childhood hunting and fishing, my column is probably the only game in town for that. Other people give fishing reports or glorified fishing reports. I weave stories. I tell stories about people. People think I write about fishing and hunting. Not so. I write about people more than anything.
Right. Well, you know, now I look forward. Now when I see a column written by you, I know that guy personally.
Well, now that red snapper story is not indicative of my stories, because that really wasn't a personal kind of story.
Right. It's something you kind of, it's with the job you have to.
It is. It's part of it.
Well, I appreciate you stopping by. I got to learn a lot about you, a lot about what you do, you know, for a living, day to day, what you cover.
That's right.
Thank you for coming in and speaking with us.
You made it easy. Thank you. It was my pleasure.
I'm Jordan Olivo with Focus. I was joined by David Sikes. David, thank you so much for stopping in, and it was great speaking with you.